This is Geeky Pastimes, and today we're going to be reviewing the Early Access Edition for Quantum League, which you can buy now for £17 on Steam. So I feel like reviewers all over the world are struggling with how to describe Quantum League. It's an arena first-person shooter where you fight alongside past copies of yourself to capture a point through 3 time loops. Is that clear enough? Whatever it is, it's an amazing and innovative game that's well worth your time and money. Let's take the simplest match type to start with, and I'll explain what happens there. In a 1v1 match of Quantum League, you're trying to capture a point in the middle of the map. All you have to do is be the only person standing on that point when the timer runs out in order to win a round. Win 3 rounds and you win the game. So when you start a round, you'll choose a weapon from 5 choices. You've got a long range rifle, a short range SMG, an even shorter range shotgun, a wildcard grenade launcher which kind of ricochets off everything and seems a little bit useless, and a surprisingly short range laser which does less damage but also has no recoil. You then have 15 seconds to get to that point in the middle of the map. If you get killed, you can carry on playing, acting out what you would have done if you managed to be alive, and even grabbing a health orb and coming back to life so you can carry on fighting. Remember, all this happens in just 15 seconds. The last second or so is played in glorious slow motion, which makes last second clutch shots much easier to make. Once the timer runs out, you can see who was on the point at the end, and then it rewinds. While it's rewinding, if you've got a keyboard that has Chrome or RGB, the Razer one, or it might work with other ones, I'm not sure, there's a really cool light show during the rewind. Now, it starts to get a little bit confusing after the rewind. Once it's reset, you're now going to be playing alongside a copy of yourself from the first loop and against a player's current loop as well as their first one. This opens up loads of strategic options. Say you died in the first round. Do you want to go and protect that copy of yourself so then the things that you would have done actually happen? Or do you want to go to the objective and then shoot in anticipation of future copies of enemies? Lots of the objectives have clear routes up to them like ramps, so you could shoot down these sight lines so if an enemy tries to get up there next time, you'll be able to get them. You can actually end up killing your future self though, so be careful. Now this goes on for about 3 rounds, and by the end of that round, whoever has the objective wins a point, and you start a fresh new round with new loops. By the end of that 3rd round, there's 3 copies of you and 3 copies of your opponent. It's a huge amount to keep track of, and the map ends up looking really messy, but it's so much fun. The map actually tracks where every player went individually, so even if in a game you couldn't quite work out where a player appeared from, you can look at the map and see their trail, so then you can end up intersecting them. So say on your 3rd life, you want to stop their first life from doing something, you can see exactly where they went to, so which route they took around the map, and you can go there and lay a trap for them. Obviously, they're not going to react to you being there because they didn't see you when they were playing, so you can end up killing them really, really easily. Quantum League also allows for duos, and this is my favourite game mode at the moment. Communication's vital as you need to be aware of so many different factors and plan out how you're going to approach things. There is a ping system in the game, but we couldn't get it to work at the moment. If both of you hang back and snipe with the devastating rifle, no one's going to get to that point in time. If one of you fires a grenade at the point at the last second, no one's going to win that round because everyone's going to get killed. If you were killed by an enemy grabbing an orb to respawn and coming up behind you, one of you could go grab that orb near the beginning of the loop, so it's not there, so that player never gets respawned. Considering it's early access, there's also so many different options for game types. There's ranked modes, there's leaderboards, there's private games with loads of different ways to customize your fight. In every single match, there's a beautiful chain of cause and effect, so every round feels unique. Occasionally on the second loop, everyone will be dead because you and your teammate were so efficient, so it looks like you're going to win easily. Then on the 3rd loop, the enemy team learn exactly where your first lives were, and they shoot them, wipe them out, and it leads to this terrible chain of events where their entire team is alive at the end, and then they can end up being on a point with like 4 people, or even 6, and you lose. Sometimes you'll make a clutch shot right at the last second that steals that point away from them. All of this chaos is played back to you at the end of each round in an observer mode where you can keep track of exactly what happened. Like Super Meat Boy's compilation of all your lives, it's illuminating to see what was working and what wasn't, and sometimes it just looks really cool. As the rounds are so short, there's an element of Rocket League to the game, with a just one more try mentality that doesn't ever make you feel like a failure, but instead challenges you to think about what you could do different. It's hard to get invested too much in a game that lasts 5 or 6 minutes. Instead, you're constantly pushing to improve, ready for the next one. Quantum League is something new in the first-person shooter space, and that should definitely be celebrated. It is an early access game, but it's one that has all the polish you'd expect from a full release. The graphics are great, there's clean colour scheme showing you exactly what's going on at all times, and there's a kind of Overwatch aesthetic, especially with the cosmetic items you can buy with in-game money. So far, there's no microtransactions in this at all, even though there is a battle pass. You just seem to unlock stuff as you go. The sound design is top notch, and again lets you know what's happening at all times. The only negatives so far are the lack of maps and interesting cosmetics. There's about 5 maps in the game in the custom modes, and each one has sort of its own game mode, so they'll either be point based or they'll be this kind of thing where you have to destroy all of the clones. But so far in the playlists, when you're doing matchmaking, there's only 1 map in each playlist. This can easily be forgiven because it's early access. I'm sure they'll come in time. This game is absolutely spectacular, and easily one of the best things I've played this year. Like Counter-Strike, Team Fortress, Overwatch and Rainbow Six Siege before it, this could be the next big thing in competitive first-person shooter games. If you've enjoyed this video, please do like and subscribe, and if you want to see more reviews of games like this, please leave a comment below. Please do press that subscribe button. 99.5% of the watch time on my channel comes from people who aren't subscribed. I'm really trying to get to 1,000 subscribers because then I can access everything that YouTube's got to offer. So please help us out and press that subscribe button. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.